every mistake. Sick of the give and the take.
My brain feels pretty fuzzy after my vacation. I need to do a coding assessment today and I have 2 interviews tomorrow, like two, each is 1 hour. And it's like the first round of coding interviews. I'm just very tired. I need to get used to talking to people again because I didn't really talk a lot during my vacation. Okay, I actually hate Codility because, okay, you can share your results, but what if you do poorly on the thing and then you can't defer doing the test, only defer it 14 days. So I can defer it for Databricks if I want. But then basically now if I do the quora one, it also counts for the Asana. So it sucks, that's terrible. Well, that was depressing. I spent like too much time on the first question. I feel like the first 2 questions are always very similar, but then I always just like forget how Python works and just like waste time. So I need to actually like figure out how to do those things properly and do better next time. But then I still got those. Like those are fine. I don't know. I haven't had a problem with the first 2 questions. But the third one was like a matrix thing and finding like consecutive submatrices and then like calculating stuff. Then that one I was like, okay, I need to practice those types of questions. So I'm gonna skip that and move on to the last question. The last question, I think I almost got it. Like I got some test cases to pass, but not all of them, which is depressing because I was running out of time. It was basically like a sliding window type question, but it was like with dealing with stocks, and like buying and selling stuff, and then like they give you a K number and you have to do K consecutive things, but some of them you have to change like zeros to ones, and then there might already be ones, and then you have to deal with that case, and then yeah, I think it was more of a hard level question, but then I'm more familiar with sliding window, like that pattern, so that was slightly easier for me rather than a submatrices question. I'm spending too much time like thinking and using these as practice instead of like you're supposed to just go in and execute. Like these are just supposed to be like, okay, just prove that you can code. And then here I'm like, can I even code? Because I haven't had practice with all this stuff because I was doing 2 internships at the same time, which didn't give me enough time to practice anything like any like leak code or data structure stuff. So now I have to actually focus my time like a few hours every day and practice. And I have the elements of the programming interview book, and that one they give like different, they have a table of like different ways to use the book. So I might just do the one that's like 3 months or 4 months, so longer. So like do a few hours every day and practice and use those questions and just like look them up on LeetCode and just do those. So that can give me like some practice in like different areas. I think that's the plan now of what to do, and I put blocks of time in my calendar to do these things to like practice LeetCode. So I think that will be good. And now I'm starting school next week and my next internship, or my last internship I hope, and that will be exciting. So then it'll give me more of like a normal schedule and I can actually do things and plan around my schedule because it should stay the same. Oh my goodness, today I have 2 interviews because Datadog wanted to do it as soon as possible or something. So then that's gonna be literally in 30 minutes from 10:30 to 11:30. And then from 2 to 3 p.m. I have also the first round interview but for scio, so that's like the startup company. And then I don't know, I've just been watching videos, doing some LeetCode this morning. I should practice more LeetCode, like I guess on the days when I'm not interviewing and already coding. I'm going to be doing LeetCode practice. So then, but maybe I'll still do it today because I don't really have much to do today other than the 2 interviews. So yeah, it's just Newton's first law, you know, with object at rest wants to stay at rest. It's like all that inertia, like it's like hard to push yourself to start, but I need to actually do it. So that's the plan for today. Yeah, I need to review like maybe trees and stuff like that because I haven't been asked any tree questions so far in any of like the online assessments or the coding interviews I've done, so I don't know, need to review trees. Okay, I just did my Datadog first round interview. The guy was pretty nice. He was very like laid back and very tired, and I'm also like not awake yet. It was 10:30 and it was normal. I feel like Datadog, I just searched up and they're like, yeah, they ask LeetCode questions, and I was like, okay, that's not that bad. And it felt similar to like the Microsoft interviews where it's just, yeah, like 2 LeetCode questions. And I specifically asked like in the interview, I'm like, okay, how many questions are there? Are there multiple parts to each question, just to make sure like, so I know how much time I should spend on things. And the first question he asked was really easy. and it was just like finding duplicates in a paragraph essentially. And then the other question was slightly harder, but it was a tree question, so you use recursion. And yeah, I was just mixing myself up, obviously, because like I just said before this, I haven't had any tree questions so far, and of course I had one. So then yeah, I need to review it before my next interview. That's later today, must review some more tree questions. It was pretty good. He was nice. He worked on 2 teams at Datadog so far, and he told me about them, and like, yeah, they use mostly Python and Go in their backend, and then like, yeah, React and TypeScript for front end. And yeah, and he wants to do fully remote work because he actually likes remote more than going in person. It was a fine interview. I didn't feel very judged by him, even though I got stuck on the second question. Like, he actually gave me not like a hint, but like nudging me towards like, okay, maybe look at this or something, or think about like what are the different cases. So then that was good to like get me out of my head, or like to make me think. So that was nice. Okay, went on a walk, had lunch, so now I have energy, and I'm just gonna watch an episode of Bleach so I can hype myself up for my next interview with scio. It's so funny that like everyone on their LinkedIn for scio, they say they work at stealth startup. I don't know, like everybody who works at a secret or like small startup puts stealth startup until it has like a name or something. And they did say they're gonna change the name of scio, so I guess yeah, it makes sense. And they also changed my interviewer last minute because the woman couldn't do it. I don't know which one's worse, the woman who went to Berkeley or the guy who went to Stanford. I don't know, both pretty hard. Just finished the interview at scio. The guy was really nice, and wow, my background is so bright. He was super nice and very calm, and he's also like only a few years after he graduated. So he graduated 2018, that's when I started university. He was kind of like shading his ex-workplace for being like bad, for not having good mentorship and being all like noobs like him, like outside of school. And like he wanted more mentorship, and then this company provided it because they're all like ex-Google search people working on a search product. And basically the question he gave me was about search and like implementing stuff in search, like something that he had to implement like a year ago. I thought that was really fun. He like let me talk about it and like think through my ideas. I think that was good, and I kind of showed like a little bit more of like, oh, I understand theory and like I know computer science fundamentals, like as Figma would say. And then yeah, they're basically like, okay, if you're given this string, like how do you search for things, like give results back. We also talked through the time complexity, and I made some mistakes, but then he's like, oh no, that's wrong, and I was like, okay, is it this? And that was bad. Like I need to say things correctly. I need to review runtimes for things, because usually in interviews they don't ask me the runtime. Then this guy specifically was asking me like the runtime for like every single line that I had written, and then I was trying to write it really small, so it was like only a few lines, optimizing it like in memory before the runtime of my function, so then that could make it faster. And then we walked through each thing and like, oh, how could I improve this thing, and that kind of stuff. And he also taught me about bin left and bin right for the binary search like library in Python, which I didn't know about, but they do have it. Apparently they use it in this, I think, but then I haven't read this part, like those chapters yet, because I just started. I just got it like a day or two ago. It was fun, and he told me like a better optimization, because I wanted to use a max heap, but then he's like, oh, you can use a mid heap and make it better, like have a leaderboard essentially. I think that was cool. I think they're actually gonna get out of stealth mode in a few weeks and like rebrand themselves with a new name, because scio, like no one knows how to say it properly, and no one like types in that spelling when they think of scio. And yeah, he joined when there was only 15 people, but now there's 40 people, so I think that's really cool. And they do use Golang, and he's like, oh, I saw on your resume that you know Golang, and I'm like, yeah, and Golang's great, it's the best. And he's like, you should have just used Golang in your interview. And I'm like, no, I want to use Python. So then I tried to make myself seem less bad, because I actually need to learn lambdas. Like I actually need to memorize the syntax for writing lambdas, because I'm actually trash. I just keep shooting myself in the foot whenever I have to sort something, and then I'm just like, oh, I don't remember how to write lambda, let me Google the syntax. I'm actually a dumbass. Actually a dumbass. Oh my goodness, why am I like this? Grr, this is horrible. At least I knew how to import heap q, you know? At least I knew that. Oh my god, now I can relax. I can rest this again. Oh my god, finally. But I'll do like good stuff, but still, no interviews. And then just a school next week, and work starts, but I don't have to worry about that now. Yes, I can just read Tower of God and read The Way of Kings, all these books, and webtoons, and anime. Great. Oh, and play games with my friends. Yo, this is actually cool. Look at this. And it shows how much time I spent. What the fuck is this? What the hell did I do here? But yeah, too much time on these. Gave up on this. And then this one I spent a lot more time on, but I didn't get all of the like tests to pass them. So sad. Yeah, my scores are shit. I need to improve. And this one I have to do literally on the expiration date. I just got a phone screening interview with Asana. What the heck? I didn't even do well on the coding assessment. I did so trash on the codility. You just saw how horrible. I got my head out the sunroof. I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing on my mind. I think that learning all of these fancy functions and libraries in Python is going to be really helpful, because especially in like those codility assessments where time is really important, knowing all of these will make things so much faster. And like I've seen these questions, like usually they're like the first or second question, like these types of things like arrays and strings, but then it still takes me like 10 minutes to do it because I'm like writing out too much code. So this would make it way faster if I just remember these functions. One thing in the back of my mind, I'm feeling like this might be my time to shine with you, with you, with you. I got my head out the sunroof. Wait, you have to be kidding me. Wealthfront asked me to do a codility thing, and there's 2 questions, but they only let you do it in Java. Like, what the hell? I don't even know if I'm gonna do this. Honestly, like, waste of my time. I don't even remember Java syntax that much. I don't feel like this. This is stupid. Ugh. And I think I'm going to just apply to Hudson River Trading and see what happens, because, I mean, there's no harm in applying. Even though I don't think I fit the requirements of knowing C++ already, or like having extensive usage of C. Like, I learned C, of course, in school, but I haven't used it in a long time, or like ever really in work or like in projects. So I'm just gonna apply and see what happens. They'll probably just reject me right away, but at least I applied. I guess what's unique about this application is they want me to list awards or competitions and any courses, and I've never had to fill in those before. This is sad. I should apply for this. Okay, is this not ingenious like UI? What the heck? This is so cool. I like this. When am I even graduating? I think May. Life right now is a movie. Yeah. Wish the soundtrack was groovy. Too bad I'm frustrated, I'm moody. Yeah. Just need a happy ever after. Guess this was kind of fun when it all started going down. Good morning. Remember how I felt like I sucked on those 2 interviews? The first one with Datadog and the first one with scio? Well, apparently I got into the final round. Said it is all gonna be over by the end of May, but here I am, face mask every day. The way this year is turning out, a Michael Bay cliche. I have become obsessed with Tower of God on Webtoon, and I'm just reading that. Maybe I'll learn how to read Webtoon in Korean, because my Korean course is starting in like 30 minutes. Okay, so I just finished my first Korean class, and I sent my friend Clara voice notes. She's Korean. I sent her voice notes, and this is basically what I was saying. So, 잘 들으세요. 따라해보세요. 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. 처음 뵙겠습니다. 저는 마리아예요. What did I say at the end? 안녕히 계세요. And yeah, I'm bad at Korean. This is the first class. Also, Shopify gave us some money to spend, like using the shop app, and I got this beautiful candle, Left on Red by Forever Mood, which is Jackie Aina's brand. Okay, let me show you. It's so beautiful. Oh, scio sent me my invitations for interviews for the final on-site. Interesting. yeah, this is okay. There are 2 interviews here, then a 1-hour break for their lunch, and then another 2 hours for the assignment for me to just code stuff. Yeah, but it's pretty far away, so that's pretty good. Still 2 weeks. Nice. No, depression, no. I got rejected by some company today. I forget which one. One of the ones that I did the online assessment for and couldn't do one of the questions or something. But I just got an email from Hudson River Trading. I thought they were emailing to reject me too, but they asked me to fill in some more information, so I need to go fill in whatever that is. Just which programming language? Somewhat more space or C++? See, I told you so, girl. I just had a call with the recruiter from Figma because I asked if I could get any feedback, and she just said that, yeah, they felt that she's happy that I'm very positive about it. Like, I was thanking her for the experience and opportunity, which I am very grateful for it. And then she says that I was good at working in collaboration and like understanding the problem and explaining my thoughts, but then I could have stronger like they're looking for stronger performance for new grads of just like coding stuff, and it's very competitive anyways for new grads. But I did code the stuff, like I just made a little bit like debugging. I don't know, like I had to debug some stuff, and then I don't know, like she's just saying what she saw in the feedback, but like I did solve their questions. I feel like I performed well in the coding. Like I did the code, like it worked, and then it was performant, and I explained off the like how it was performant. But I don't know, she still thinks that I have a bright future, and hopefully I do. But yeah, it was just good to get feedback.